Hiya Chris, great to see you again today. Swing's coming on a treat and your golf's improving no end. Let's just take a little look at what we discussed during your session. First of all, at setup, we're a little bit too close to it. You can see here there's no gap between you and the golf club where the grip's involved. Now, what that means is that during your swing, you're going to go looking for some space in which to use your arms, and you can see there that your hands are much further away from you at impact than they were at setup. So you're making a lot of compensations there, and the idea is to stand in a manner that requires the least number of compensations during your swing. So we need to get a little bit more room. The way you do that is to just make sure that at setup you could pass your right hand between you and the golf club. Now then, in relation to your swing, again, if we look at it from down the line, one of the things we notice is as you're coming into the ball and through impact, you give the impression that you sort of straighten up a little bit still. Hips move in towards the ball, spine straightens up a touch. So we've got to look at why that's happening. The reason why that's happening is if we look at face on, we're getting rid of the angle formed by the right forearm and the shaft a little bit too soon. So as we work your swing through and we look at it as you're coming into the golf ball at this point, you've still got the angle in your forearm and the shaft. As you then continue your swing through, this angle starts to get thrown away. At this point now it's starting to straighten. Now as you continue through impact, you can see the club head passing your hands, and this angle's all but gone at this stage. So it's a little bit of a scoopy move. What happens with that is if you scoop too much, you're going to thin the golf ball. As you can release the angle, you're lengthening or lowering the base of your swing, so you run the risk of the club hitting the ground behind the ball. In an attempt to stop that happening, you're going to instinctively want to stand up. So you can see there's a lot of compensations coming about because, first of all, you haven't got enough room at address, and secondly, you're throwing the angles away during your downswing. If we take a little look here at Charlie Way on the top right hand side, the single biggest difference between a consistent ball striker and an inconsistent ball striker is the ability to maintain this angle here through the hitting area. If you watch what happens as he comes into the hitting area now, this is maintained beautifully. As he makes contact with the golf ball, the shaft is actually leaning towards the target slightly, still keeping this angle here. And as he then continues through impact, you can see there's no attempt to throw the club head at the golf ball whatsoever. And if we're following him round on the camera, so if the camera was staying square to the path of the club, you'd see that that was still the case, that angle's been maintained well through impact. Even at that point there, you can still see the angle between the shaft and the right arm has been maintained. So that's the single biggest difference between what you're trying to do with your swing at the moment and what you need to do. So what we've got to try and do is get you maintaining that. The way we do that is do the drill that we're seeing here on the bottom right. We're going to put the left hand between the grip and your right forearm, and you're going to make some little swings back and through, and you can see that as you do that, the angle formed between the right forearm and the shaft of the club is maintained beautifully, like you see there with Charlie Way at the top. That's going to allow you to compress the ball much better, get the divot out in front of the golf ball, reduce the amount of scoop that you have through impact, and make you a much more consistent ball striker. Good luck with it, and see you again soon.